think. It is, of course, Scrawny and Launder's Zera.
Whoa.
Yeah, how are we doing, guys? What do we think about this one?
Doing fantastic. I'm excited to see MongolZ push the speed of the game a little bit in the face of this Navi after the last couple days of casting them.
I think we have learned that officially Senzu is a position and CobraZera will be just fine on this roster. he has some bad maps, but he really bailed them out yesterday. Yeah. Like, he got better into overtime and just continually impressed by how well they can integrate new talent.
Do you think he's the real deal, guys? You think he's going to make us all forget about Senzu in 6 months?
I mean, to be completely honest, he's not the quality of Senzu just yet, but I think they've shown that they can kind of turn any uncut gem into something special over there. So,
all right. Well, I'll let you focus on the treasure trove before you because the game is about to start.
See you boys later. Into Inferno we go, Mo. And yeah, I think, kind of building on what you just said there, I don't know if CobraZera will make us forget about Senzu, but I think the success of MongolZ as a collective can make us forget about Senzu as time goes on, if they are really able to tap back into what we believe in them, and that is the system can make whatever piece they bring to the table that much better. We saw it with CtrlAz. We've seen glimpses of it already with CobraZera. And there were at times in yesterday's matchup for the MongolZ that they were just dominating. I thought they were going to blow bait out of the water at a couple of those moments, but then also games got brought back. So we got to keep a close eye on this. We know Navi have fight. We know Navi have evolution, adaptation, all the things that'll test the game plan of MongolZ. But for now, we're going to be going into the B bomb site, which features Alexi and Alexi only. Smoked off and unable to stop the two players crossing over to the pit. Fast flank from 3. We see this often from Navi. And now all of a sudden 9-10 to be pressured. He'll fall back into the sandbags, loses a player behind him, still got another teammate offering distractions, but it is only that one frag between all of the players still sitting on bananas. So Mzinho, best of luck. And, well, he needed a little more than luck, it seems. Emet right between the eyes, and Navi fast to the flank, fast to the pistol round win.
Yeah, quick on the frags. Very inspired. Lucky in Navi right now. We'll have to see how this game goes because it doesn't feel like Navi are sharp enough to make this in 2 maps. It doesn't feel like that coming into the game, but it's kind of a question as to like how good the top team's form is going to be. Everyone's form is going to be at this event so far. I think the thing, again, that was most impressive about CobraZera, because before yesterday's match, he's had 2 bad maps in a row, he's had a great map and then a bad map. It's been a little bit all over the place, and he's replacing a star player. It's a nice tag for 9-10. But what struck me the most was, again, him getting better by the round, him getting better with more pressure, him showing, like, really smart play as well as good mechanics as time went on. And so, just wonder how fast this kid can kind of mature, like, right before our eyes. Because things happen fast for the MongolZ, and again, all their new players always just seem to step up to the challenge.
The only symptom of kind of struggle we saw from CtrlAz was when he had to take the big leap onto the biggest of stages. But again, who could have expected them to even make it top 8 back in Budapest, let alone go beyond that point? So now, CobraZera kind of gets more of a grace period, right? If he's going to evolve and if he's going to get better over time, we just know he's going to get more time than CtrlAz would have, because he was very much a stand-in for a short-term real issue. They wanted experience for the Budapest major, and they re-secured top 8. Huge accomplishment. Now you've got a little more runway coming into a fresh season, and CobraZera is going to benefit from that, I think.
No, it's so interesting that they just know what they want so clearly that they can even turn down someone who brought them to a major playoffs in favor of what they think they really need.
Going to challenge this smoke here in the second round. Always daunting to be diving smokes like that into a B site that could be stacked, that could have, of course, real threats within it. And lo and behold, a force buy for the MongolZ, looking likely that the success has been found. So a sudden pounce and a pop in through the smoke. And that's what I was trying to allude to when this game started, right? We're going to see MongolZ test Navis, and just in terms of timing. Go back to Aurora versus Navi a couple of days ago, on Anubis particularly. Aurora did a really good job of, throwing just a piece of utility there, making a noise here, and that really has Navi, I think, in the ebb and flow of rotations within a game, and sometimes that benefits them. They get into the right spot when they need to. Alexi reads the situation. Versus the MongolZ, it's so much harder because things are sudden, and when there's that certain sudden urgency in a game, I think this is a way to just stylistically really push Navi to their limits. And MongolZ are a perfect example of a team that loves to do that.
Yeah, I like it. They're just like the UFC's always on my brain. I don't even watch it that
It's
much anymore. But
I know
I
you're
just
a violent
when
guy,
I think
Mo.
about when I think about the Mongols, I think about Max Holloway. You know, they're always willing to throw down.
I'm the best striker in the UFC.
Yeah, like they're there to have fun almost as much as they are there to play like tactical, smart CS.
Right.
And they do cheat timings a little bit more, and that's what I think that's what's given them so much rise in CS2. It fits the game, it fits their play style, and it does scare top teams who there seems to sometimes be an exchange of respect. Here's some space taken back, here's a cool 2K, but okay, now a late mid-round, or an interesting play in the mid-round. Mongols, they kind of almost keep a tier 2 atmosphere in tier 1.
Ooh, I like that.
You know,
yep.
And for anybody who's been watching, they know that is nothing but a compliment.
Nice flash in for Ime to get the better of that. Didn't actually blind blitz, but just gave Ime the confidence to step in for the duel. This was a strong setup at a Navi's start of the round. 3 players into Banana, kind of looking for a challenge. Didn't come their way, so they extend around the corner, and it nets them an opening. And of course, working with 3 rifles, it's good for the formula that Ime is able to find one. Majority still here for Navi on the A site. They're going to start stepping forward on Arch. Yes. We had a look around the brackets just for a moment there from the Mongols, but as they peel back for a moment to pull their utility out, that is when Navi decide to step into it. And we get Cobra dropping a Wonderful in the background, finding damage as well. That is 9-10 to follow suit. That Emed duel towards B left him low, but writing off the threat of Alexi's Beretta is going to be a lethal mistake. Low HP on the bomb carrier here, Bit very much locked into the corner, will be half-ass cleared, and so he's got them dealt with. Nice rebound back from Navi, making quick work of the Mongols after their successful force.
The double push timing on Arch, I really like that from Navi. It was really in between, just like 10 seconds after a minute, and I think the Mongols put themselves in a good place to trade, but the third guy showing up that quickly, you couldn't expect it. And that's also the danger of playing against a team who have a little bit less to work with. They're going to rotate a bit faster. They're going to surprise you more often. Navi, pick this back up. Get right back on track. They're really going deep with their banana control.
But all that early banana control, I mean, it does kind of queue up Mongols to just take an earlier A play if they're confident about this.
Yeah, if they think it's 3B, which it technically isn't, they still have Imma spotting Arch from here.
Just the timing of all this and the fact that they've done it without too much utility, this is very much unannounced, right? So it feels like Mongols are going to catch somebody off.
Wisely, though, he's going library.
He's going to wrap it in time. Does get clipped for a bunch of damage. Mzinho's going to come through. Peel a player off of the site. Smoke off Emet, who tries to make something happen. Wanted to help Wonderful, who's now got to do this on his own. Valve player dead. Excellent second kill here from Wonderful, trying to dodge these threats as his rotations come over. Makazze popped. Beautiful shots coming through from Mzinho. That is 3 kills on the round. You can see the uncertainty as to where the last one's at. Alexi has smoke fade in front, and Mzinho tiptoeing into his own death, gives up his back. It's just Alexi to lean back, relax, and do it his way. A sole survivor in this one for Navi as they begin to truly pull ahead.
He knew that Alexi was going to be flanking from B. He just didn't know if it was going to be through mid, if it was going to be through Arch. He just didn't even think that library would be an option there. So really nice attempt from Mzinho. He was moving smooth, but it's another round saved for Navi. Navi are going to play this well, and there really is a chance that they can clean this game up faster. Because I think until we find out otherwise, we want to feel like Mongols are the underdog.
We saw some really impressive Counter-Strike from Navi on day 1. Really, I think, kind of had their stocks skyrocketing. At least just, it wasn't very long-lived, but it was a huge uptick in contrast to what we got from Bounty, from what we got in Krakow. You know, the expectations for Navi were kind of nosediving. So maybe it wasn't an uptick. Maybe it just plateaued for a second throughout the year, as they were on a decline. Right now, we've just got the 1 Deagle kill from 9-10 to be concerned about for Navi's ability to go up 4-1, and he may have a little bit of an exit here from balcony, but he's got players breathing down his neck, and he's dealt with. So 4 up, that's good Navi making, I would say, pretty quick work of this too, right? I think there's a certain electricity in their step right now.
Well, that is the thing about the MongolZ is they get to control the tempo because they play aggressive. So, you know, they can make a team like Navi look fast because they're on T side and, you know, up in your brackets at the top of banana well before a minute, and they force you to react. At a certain point, you have to fight back for space, even if you are going to try to be a passive team. But yeah, right here, Navi, they know what the assignment is. They're happy to meet them at this speed, and they're on point with these trades, not getting pushed over.
Start of this game was made a little weird, though, with that back-to-back successful force buy between both teams. So things kind of stabilize here, round 6. See if MongolZ T side really has something to say. Back to the banana duel, well-equipped. Missed shot from Wonderful.
Big shot for Techno. That's makazze swinging hard, dead. Lil Spam just off to the right.
Feels like good value out of the fallback utility here for Navi. And it's not an entire fallback either, right? Alexi just giving another burst of MP9 downrange. The MongolZ have gone for the retreat instead. Happy to hold on to a 5v4, knowing these health bars aren't all full.
It's pretty nice for Alexi. Doesn't see anything, but also lets him know, shooting those last few bullets down to the bottom of B, that he hasn't left. They are not going to over-rotate, and they've cleared out banana. But I think in Navi's mind, what this means is that now MongolZ are going to try to come and clear them back out. They've rotated 3 towards B. They have 1 ready to leave on Arch. This Hulse play is going to work out beautifully.
This could be one of those moments where Navi have to transition straight really to a save.
Running right from the back of Halls. Emma, let's see where he gets off to.
Can anybody do anything about this? Not ideal. Oh, E-Man. Yeah, tries to give it a jiggle. It's only bit with the frag. Alexi, he's got wind of what's going on here. Hanging on to Underground.
Yeah, he's very aware of where the nades were getting thrown from, and he's looking for who threw them. And he finally finds Blitz.
And with that kill, feels like the retake's on. They're still close enough. You know, it's unconfirmed damage perhaps on most of this, but 910 being on 40 HP, CobraZera on the brink of death, chucks a nade out to get a little more value. Now Navi are going to start reconsidering their own HP. Do they have the keys to make this retake happen? Smoke in Wonderful's hands thrown out. This is going to obscure some vision towards the pit, make things a little more awkward for Cobra. He hits more damage in the middle of all of this, and time is of the essence. It's 3 kits, sure, but they're so late on the retake. They've got to dive bomb it if they want it.
It's time to get out of here, man.
And they've got to go. This is going to be costly for the MongolZ as the bomb will pop and probably kill both. No escape for Techno. Navi put the squeeze on the bomb site and at least rack up the price tags, but it is a round win for the MongolZ regardless.
Appreciate CobraZera there just finding a way to be useful. That smoke is meant to take him out of the round. He would normally take first contact, so the guy on site can take the second. The guy in mini pit can crossfire with him. But even with the smoke coming in, he just, you know, lines things up based on his intuition, exactly where Wonderful is. HP was so low. All he had to do was delay. And so it's a well-called round here for MongolZ. Even though Alexi is very clever to find Blitz in Underpass, who was throwing nades, just like he suspected, that was the initial call by Blitz to get everybody up into Halls right after they left banana control so quickly. And we've seen Navi just, I mean, they've always like been keen to stack, but they've been stacking way more, I think, with this lineup in recent times.
See the effect of that squeeze with the double Mac 10 here in round 7.
Figuring out when there are these 3v stars is a huge part of the game on T side, and you have to do it without seeing everybody. Right here, they're trying to hold their attention, but Navi have rotated that extra player over quickly. It's a dangerous way to hold for Wonderful if he gets a peek from the other side.
Up quick. Hopper in a pinch. Yeah, not a pretty one here for Wonderful. Bit and Emath, though, still join forces. Good on Emax. It felt like Bit was in a bit of a tough spot, too hard of a position to hold. We get a Glock jiggle. And, well, fast to the scenes, makazze, you've got a player cut off in Pit in the meantime, but in a 1 versus 2, they know where you're at. You've got MZ scouring for this push.
Yeah, he's got the bomb. He's just got to ferry that onto the site.
That's a fast rotate, though, right, makazze? Coming around to grab this kit.
Blitz is taking the scenic route around to the back of lane, and MZ is just going to wait for him.
Because makazze didn't press the issue out through balcony, it feels like now that threat of a potential apartments position is going to be considered.
Oh my goodness, Blitz. It's so much time has passed, he actually stops rotating.
makazze goes back barrel, spotted, but still survives. Ooh, it makes it tough. 5 HP versus the full bar of MZ. You see Glock out.
MZ took a peek, didn't see anything.
makazze's repositions have been huge here. He's got the drop. Oh, but then MZ considers it an obviously huge health advantage. So if not for all of that blitz damage, maybe we get this 1v3 clutch. It's MongolZ to break down the doors of the A site regardless.
They play very well off of that information. And I think the way that MongolZ saw that was whether or not it was a 3B start and they started to rotate someone back, they maybe wouldn't be as prepared for some kind of lane split. And the Crossfire nearly stood up to this test. They did a good job just emptying him as ammo, taking out Bit inside of the pit.
Ready to go with the MP7, but he eats a flash as he tries to test the limits of Banana. Quick pop out for makazze.
Dangerous games to take over car control, and it's a real perfect counter flashes here for the CT side.
Wonderful trying to find timing, has a shadow there to work with. Oof, just opens the door for MZ to swing. Didn't anticipate a second layer there with Ema ready and prepared for the follow-up peek. And still concerned about the balcony, but there's nobody inside of apps here for the MongolZ. Corner clear, 9-10 spots it.
Still got a teammate up. There won't be any push on B, there's just makazze here. So they'll go to try to help him, but MongolZ already thinking about saving. Well, it's been a pretty good game so far. I think we've seen a little bit of everything, some good calling out of MongolZ. NAVI's counterplay, the way they're able to keep up with Mongol speed and still find all the trades has been good. It hasn't been any less clear to me as to who was going to win this game.
Economically, this game has just been on a knife's edge as well. But it's nice to see Ema getting his impact nice and early. We had a shortcoming from one of the Romanian players today. Unfortunately for FUT, unable to convert that overpass win.
Was that comeback of the year so far?
12-3.
It's pretty big. That was pretty big. It was overpass.
It was overpass CT side, so that takes a little bit of the shine off it. Still really impressive.
Yeah, it was still really impressive.
But contender.
Because it was actually 9 CT rounds, 12 into overtime as well. So,
true.
Pretty next level.
Now it's going to be up to Ema then to find success today.
Yeah, Ema saw that and he's like, we're not letting that happen to us.
Pistols in hand for MongolZ.
Nade
to the face, baby. 9-10 down. 53 damage, but damn. Triple nade, double nade. makazze down to 2 HP. The artillery shells just come flying over top of the wall. And, well, that's the price you pay for dropping 9-10 by half. makazze lucky to be alive at the start of this round. Cancel the smoke. We've seen MongolZ kind of step into brackets without announcing it at all before, right? They'll just do this dry with no utility, and without that smoke, without that flash, it feels like they want to do it again.
Yeah, look at the map, though. This is not the round to go A. Could run into Ima and have a better chance at a trade, but they're probably confused that NAVI basically no pressure over on Banana.
Here comes that short peek, right? Slowly but surely, Wonderful stepping forward. Op covers, he goes wide. Ima dies, there's the pack. Oh, baby! Wonderful! Gets 2 headshots back-to-back in that mowdown. 3 kills on the round.
That's brutal after getting the kill.
All about getting past 910's op, because if that op shot connects, it's not only Wonderful dead on the short side, but Ima over towards Arch down with nothing.
3 of their teammates are going to be alive.
That is a world of difference with the missed coverage by 910. And so NAVI easily scooping up a 6th CT round off of the back of that shortcoming. And they themselves will keep 4 alive. So Wonderful showing us what he can do with the Colt. Headshots in the middle of that spray down as well. Nice and clean. Doesn't get away from him. Doesn't get squirrely.
And op difference could be, again, 910 can be quite streaky. I mean, when we saw him play yesterday, he was incredible. He was hitting everything. But if he's going to miss a shot like that, or a shot or 2 like that today, then, you know, that'll be the difference for sure.
Sends MongolZ spiraling back down 2 Glocks on all 5. Couple flashbangs for Blitz. Looks like they'll try to charge it all down.
Makes it worse that he was protecting a low buy as well.
Like I said, right on that knife's edge economically. Well, here we get it. The folly of the economy getting broken. Bit's turn to try to go for the same fight Wonderful did. Ima on the other end of things. We get some Glock headshots coming through, but no casualties for NAVI to have to handle. This bodes very well for them closing out strong on the CT side. A 7-3 half secured.
Yeah, that's their best sort of anti-eco. Got no losses, so much money made, and they could even start upgrading because, yeah, they're going to be able to buy next round no matter what. This is where it could get real ugly for the MongolZ. On a map that, as Maui brought up, this is so funny that, you know, MongolZ used to be like the, you know, the only map you don't play them on was Inferno. And their map pool's expanded so much since then. It's remarkable.
Hold on, because we've got makazze stepping up to the plate. Yeah, just when the MongolZ come back into a round with real guns, 2 of them dropped instantly. makazze let off the leash as he rounds that half wall, supported by Alexi. CobraZera returns the favor through the smoke with a headshot, and that'll give the MongolZ something to work with. But I feel like NAVI have already given them a lot more to think about. Tough go of it to start of this round, and yet still Mzinho catches his. 910 decides to push the limit through a smoke, and we go back to the 2v2 with NAVI currently very much split up.
Yeah, and suddenly I wouldn't even mind being the MongolZ here. The bomb will be retrieved in a second. Ima is making a rotation towards A, which is nuts, because again, they've just spotted this. But is he expecting them to go and grab this quickly or really take their time? I think it's the latter. And if they do grab it too quickly, they might still think about going B. So we'll see.
A B to bracket rotate into a double mid flank.
They're going to heroic retake mid, so the fights will be right now.
Yeah, they find it. Timing to perfection. Bolstered by Ima being here, so now never do you expect that the guy who dropped the bomb towards Bananas on the other half of the map, that is some clean mid-round movement from NAVI.
It's just that the decision gets made so long ago to reclaim mid at that timing.
Classy Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's awesome to watch.
A round-winning decision 25 seconds earlier.
Look at Ima go, 14-6.
Master of Inferno at the moment. And a very meaningful game for him to get to play in front of his countrymen. Oof. Here we go. Pressure's right back on. You don't get a second to catch your breath in the face of the NAVI aggression. makazze goes swinging around the wall, and NAVI truly, I think, throughout this half have fought fire with fire. You know, we mentioned it early just because of maybe the force buys getting that electricity in NAVI's step. But look at them go now, continuing with the pressure to try to close out the half. Huge flank here from Bit as well. He's got Blitz done for. That is bomb possession at the base of ramp. CobraZera soon to be pinched by both sides, and NAVI rock solid CT half on the MongolZ map pick. A 9-3 scoreline they should certainly be proud of.
Yeah, it's one of the best NAVI halves, definitely, so far of the event. That was really beautiful. Suffocating there for the MongolZ. I mean, they recognize the fact that they just can't respond to the aggression on Inferno by playing all the way back. That, you know, there was a meta or two where like Big Clan would line up all their grenades from the site and really hit some good timings and deal damage to you when you took over car. But now, these days, everyone's fighting for it. You're going to sandbags, even if you're going to take an HE, get flashed and have a molly waiting for you on your exit. It's worth staying there to do battle over. Navi proved that that style can be consistent. The few rounds that MongolZ won were good, but there were very few.
Navi making their job easier for themselves by winning that force war we had at the beginning of the half. 5-round streak to close things out. Not even bomb plants within them. Just a real testament to how out of the T-side MongolZ winded up being. Just a lot of confident decisions made by Navi, right? Not just that EMA B to A site wrap, but makazze in those back-to-back rounds to close out the half. Number 11 and 12 featured him just taking his challenge down around the half wall. And so now we'll watch as he will be at the tip of the spear towards Banana on the attack as well.
Looks to me like MongolZ have a decent read on what's taking place. Setting up in double pit, really thinking about flashes here. They're going to throw the exec together. 910 immediately rotates in. He knows what's coming too.
Flop over the balcony. Great cover from Ema. Takes a little bit for CobraZera to get his, so down to just a couple bullets and unable to find the multi-frag.
Oh, the first kill from Ema is unreal.
Holy hell.
Like, I didn't even really see him from the back of pit there.
One player spinning through the sky, and Ema doesn't waste a second in terms of executing the pit player. CobraZera only able to post the 1. And now a 2 versus 4 pistol retaker. We've got Navi on double digits out of the gates. Even Bit's dead body still chilling in pit, looking comfortable right now, him and all of Navi.
Yeah, they don't have the tools, the players, the time, or anything to go and attempt this.
Try to catch a couple exits, and Alexi is going to drop Blitz at least, push Blitz down to the 2-11 scoreline as Navi, like I said, double digits, 10th round immediately. And this now a 6-round streak between the two sides.
So it's not as if MongolZ went all in on an A stack, but they did know the high likelihood of the, you know, this false play coming. Wow. What is that shot?
Just laser beams.
That really makes all the difference. If that exchange goes differently and they stop the first guy getting into pit and it doesn't hit this incredibly hard shot, then yeah, you could have a situation where MongolZ hold, but that's just not the kind of CS him is playing right now. He's hitting everything.
910 wants to make it happen with the scout, but he's going to be, I thought, caught on the fallback. Eman doesn't go hyper aggressive. Yikes.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
You can see 910's frustration in that moment. Just feels like things are stacking up against you. Surely not just the score, but little mistakes like that don't have you feeling good about yourself, nor your odds of bringing this game back. Perfectly placed grenade.
And it's all to just hold 3 at A.
Ooh.
No shot in.
Another missed chance for 910 to get damage to try to queue up these pistol kills. He'll find coverage behind the tall box. While NAVI have all of brackets, there's still 40 seconds if things feel way too stacked. Currently 5 players here for the Mongols, and Alexi is willing to run a bit of a risk with the MAC-10 at least.
Wow, they think they've scared them. They've already started rotating back to B. They had the right idea, but they've abandoned the plan.
Scout shot does connect at least, so we see a couple low health bars here for NAVI, but the numbers advantage here inside of the A site is massive, and Wonderful catching a kill deep into CT spawn as well. Scout misses its chance to find further damage done, and Zinho gets killed at a distance. CobraZera's Deagle catches another one. So the sidearms do their job, but unfortunately, bottom performing player here for the Mongols in a 1v3 clutch. Blitz pushing the Berettas up close. Makazze instant with the headshot though, and NAVI just still take their time, right? Not frazzled by the smokes in front of them. Alexi willing to push the limit by walking through one to just guarantee that even though it felt like all of the CTs were there, like you said, they just kind of were very confident that they had scared NAVI and decide to head back to B.
There's the big value in cutting noise. You know, get the other team to second guess themselves. I mean, when you make a big move like that, you always doubt yourself. You know, you've lost entire vision on the other side of the map. You think you were about to read a stack, but maybe it felt a little bit too easy. Well, NAVI just allow you to make your own mistakes. Continue forward with this crushing performance.
Back in the face of the utility, this force buy for the Mongols. Is it going to be enough to deter NAVI from again pushing the limits? Smoke grenade in front of them, but NAVI have been doing a really good job of playing with the time accordingly. We never see them kind of get squeezed by the clock fully. I don't think I can pinpoint a mistake that NAVI have made throughout this half so far.
Yeah, I'm not seeing one. And like another moment where they're thinking, oh wait, are they going to go back to A this time? And no, they're not turning down car control here. There's only 257s to hold back. This is definitely the weaker site by a large margin.
Another smoke down at 40 seconds.
I wouldn't be surprised they even disrespect this. They know that this is a pseudo hold. Going through it.
Scramble over from CobraZera, trying to put the FAMAS in position. Techno gonna catch the instant headshot, that helped. And Blitz will find one as well. Techno's got his second, and Wonderful finally clears this out. CobraZera's used this chance to slip in towards the coffins. And right now, as Wonderful plants, smoke fades. Coverage offered by Bit, and he doesn't waste bullets. Finds the headshot, deep peek, and the mow down. Rotators dealt with, and NAVI can do no wrong.
I mean, I feel like Mongols are watching this like, man, sometimes we play that well. Like the right amount of aggression, all the great tactics, the self-belief here. NAVI have that in spades. They woke up on the right side of the bed today. This is unbelievable. Bit 16-5, Wonderful's 12-6, Imma's 18-8, Kaze's 13-8. Like all of these score lines individually might be good enough to have a lead.
Having to face the 4v5 though in round 16. Is it an early finish or a little left for the Mongols? They try to push through the smoke, and the Wonderful's gonna catch your attempts 9-10. You had a man advantage, and it's gone just like that. Utility to interrupt the approach. We got a fallback from MOUZ.
Yo, it's that kind of game.
Yes, sir. In on it and instant with it. Blitz gets his head popped. Techno's going to scramble back over. Bit remaining in middle, finds his instantaneous. And this is a NAVI that just reeks of confidence. Every individual finding those instantaneous headshots. Every individual bringing something to the table over top of a Mongols that are in free fall in this 2-1 matchup. Techno tries to make it desperate, run through the smoke, and sure, Zinho can mow one down, but NAVI have everything they need not to just win this map, but to blow out this series. This is going to leave a mark on the Mongols as we move over to Nuke. 13-3 affair on the Mongols map pick, and no jubilation here for NAVI. It is all business from all 5 members of this team. gunning for the arena.
Well, what can you say about that one? That was just over quickly. Fight.
Probably felt like you could do nothing about it as that game went on. That is the form that NAVI have brought to the table today in this game to qualify to playoffs.
That reminds me of those times that sometimes you lose so badly to one guy that you just, you go on Twitter and you write like GG Zaiwu or GG Donk or something like that, except it was everybody. It was just everyone individually, not missing anything, hitting the great shots, hitting the hard shots, hitting the blind shots. On your map pick, too. That was quick. It was decisive. It's the fast CS that MongolZ are going to bring out of anybody, but the fact that NAVI could just keep up the entire time as if they were the ones who were driving MongolZ to play that way, and that was something to watch. And, we didn't get the dignity rounds out of MongolZ, so we didn't get to a position where they go into a break and they're like, well, next map will do better even though it's not our map pick. I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's funny because yesterday we were discussing MongolZ and how like they drag you into that style of Counter-Strike and how no matter who you are, it ends up just being you who cracks first, right? If you can't keep up to their pace, eventually you're going to kind of deter away from it. But NAVI didn't, because there was never ever a reason to stop doing what was happening, and that was anything they chose to go for just simply worked.
Yeah.
And so here we sit going into Nuke, map pick of NAVI, and one whereby, yes, they'll have to begin on the T side, but I think right now with everything going as well as it did, this T half is suddenly going to feel way less daunting because everything you've done so far in the series has worked. You've got a game plan. You've got 4 individuals that dominated the server. No offense to Alexi, there was just not enough kills to go around with everybody else finding frags the way they did.
And I think when we saw MongolZ yesterday on Nuke, it wasn't like CobraZera didn't. I don't think he even went positive until like the very last round of overtime or something like that. But he got so many kills towards the end, and he was just a key player. He was actually just a key player by the end of that map. But that Nuke, in that game, I think that there was such a distinct advantage between the MongolZ and Bait in terms of the quality of Nuke play. Bait could win because they were very good individually, but they didn't really have the team level to match up to the MongolZ. But in this game, NAVI are going to be able to flex on the MongolZ and their defaults on their pace and how they approach everything. It's going to be a next level challenge for someone like CobraZera as we get into this very difficult map.
NAVI just hoping that they can rinse and repeat with the individual levels that they were able to bring in on Inferno. We'll see if anything turns into a struggle for a team that has not had to really sweat for half of their victory so far. One map secured for NAVI. MongolZ map pick done. MZinho straight at it in the trophy rooms, only able to find one with the Berettas as he lets them go. We've got multiple bodies, though, still towards ramp, and that is where the MongolZ will stuff this attack. Few kills spread across 3. And a main tuck by CobraZera. This is a position that we saw him kind of grow into as the game went on yesterday, like you mentioned. And a high impact position too, right? He's going to have to be very good with his timings and these very narrow angles as well. Like, he's got great crosshair placement on catching players. They're able to get through Garage.
Yeah, his reaction time yesterday was
done.
Nuts. So very well handled here. Yeah, round MVP right there in Mini. You have to fight outside. You have to fight Squeaky. You have to keep Squeaky smoked. You might have to catch someone lurking out of hut. Like, there are a number of ways to attack you where you aren't going to be favored. They're going to be dropping on you from above, wrapping you in lurks. It's a tough job. And timings like this are essentially what'll be the difference between you succeeding and not.
Here the Stomps top silo, and you know that if there is a Deagle in the mix, it's looking for a headshot, so you got to be careful if you're going to be any of the MongolZ players looking for duels outside. Blitz keeping it tucked in, but these M4s, 3 of them, looking for NAVI to make a move. That's what I'm talking about. You know it's out there. You know it's on the prowl. And Emet hits the first one. Ooh, we've got damage on the player inside of main too. Ooh, but some follow-up whiffs, and Techno and MZinho are here on the scene. The Glock will try to charge one down and grab a gun for his efforts. 5 health on makazze means, honestly, there is a chance somebody else gets killed. This M4 is huge, but CobraZera's push around the trophy room. If you can just sit here and wait, he's got all the advantages in the world. makazze not considering the timing means majority alive still, but dangerous game. And a lot of you know, kind of flustered feeling for MongolZ inside of main. Once that first player gets dropped, they were kind of jumbled up on top of one another, and it made it sketchy.
It did. But there were so many fights there, and, you know, them tripling up actually probably saved them from losing the guy who got gushed right away. Bai comes back here to Galil's, and I assume he has an AK on his back, yes. We get right into the thick of things.
Blitz working around red box as we have Navi's players crossing behind the smokes and into the safety of red. Blitz going to be found out here if he's not careful. So he chucks the frag grenade up on the fadeaway. Now 9-10 next to Unbreakable as we get these Navi smokes coming down.
One thing we saw Bait not ready for with all the super timings that MongolZ went for. What just happened there?
What?
Excuse me, was that his own molly?
That's a dud. He had a dud Molotov. It popped in his hand.
It fell through his pants.
What? That's what happened, right? There was no trajectory that came down from the. I mean,
yeah, was that someone else throwing? But he doesn't have any. He didn't have any utility after that, so he must have.
No, he's still holding his incendiary unless he picked up a new one.
Crazy.
I'm tweaking.
There was really nothing that could have bounced off of. Oh, well, 9-10 narrowly gets away. Time is a resource, and it is getting scarce. No kills just yet. Oh, Techno's really aggressive. He's not ready for that. Oh, he got two.
Bit gets the trade. That's wild. The 2 kills are still found by Techno over Bit's shoulder when he's that close to it. And now Alexi finding Blitz is going to bring this back to the even 3v3. 15 seconds on this clock, and the bomb's got to get through main. 9-10 down on site. CobraZera going out through the vents, takes the duel on his terms, and the Heaven player's also dead. Nice shooting here for the MongolZ. All 3 remaining players inside of the A site ready to hold. And so Navi meet their maker 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah, they do, man. That's nice angle there from CobraZera just to make sure. But with the time left over, again, there was almost no way they could do anything about that. That was ridiculous.
What was that?
I mean, he was fully in front of that. How could his model even? I don't even know how that happened. Didn't matter. I feel like Techno getting that second kill. That was the difference.
It's a good off angle to catch players when they're just floating around red, but
Dangerous.
Obviously so exposed to Silo if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's unbelievably exposed.
But obviously he's got the advantage over top of the Tech-9, so if that's what he wanted to lean back on, great, but as smokes fade, he gives it up and tucks into main instead. Giving over a lot of space for Navi to potentially get around outdoors, but obviously they're down to now no utility with that last flash, and the kills are collected quickly.
Oh.
Bit, beautiful headshot comes through main. 9-10 dealt with backside, wonderful. It's a 1v3, and he's 1 kill into it already. He's got the bomb possession and 40 seconds to figure this one out.
Actually quite scary here for the MongolZ. They're not going to have any utility to stop a plant either. Just a flash. And then they've got to decide how to play it. But it's even scary at this point in the round for Mzinho to get down from heaven. So he's going to try to find this ladder timing. Wonderful's going for the walk-up. And I think at this point, he knows he may be in for a plant. But Blitz is ready to open control side. I don't think he'll be able to stick this.
Tries it. Blitz buys a few seconds before he swings the door wide and executes. Keeping a couple alive. Still not bad considering Tech-9's on the side of Navi, but these A sites have held strong despite the attempts of Navi to get in through heaven to now just force their way down main.
That Blitz, the Bit Deagle shot was special though. That was unreal. What was that? Player in Mustang, kind of halfway between. I don't even know how he finds that angle.
MongolZ probably finally feeling like they've got something to say in this match after getting slammed back on Inferno. We go 4-0 MongolZ CT side. Trying to find that crawl over to red, but now you've got Blitz ready to go from secret. Sees the trajectory, but it's makazze to get a glimpse of it. Nate comes out, down goes makazze's health to half. And trying to keep that utility pressure on Blitz, but he's not too afraid of you, makazze. Sticks around. makazze goes headhunting. Difficult duel to commit to a spray with, and that's going to cost makazze even further HP. We get the rooftop util being set up by wonderful 3 players ready to go on the ground floor. And again, it is good numbers by MongolZ inside A. Ooh, they'll find the first one here from CobraZera. That's going to cut off Alexi as he gets wild trying to spray through. Bit dead inside of the hut and totally stuffed once again by the MongolZ. NAVI can't buy openings in this one, as this overstaffed A bomb site has been worth its weight in gold, securing this 5-0 lead.
Nothing about Inferno would be able to precipitate this happening by the MongolZ, but leave it to them, you know? A team that they've just got Marcus Aurelius all over their face constantly, just in between. They're never too emotional, never too upset, ready to take it round by round. They come into this game on Nuke as if Inferno never happened and absolutely destroy on all these trades.
NAVI haven't even been able to find a post plant so far on their map. Just been numbers strong inside of A site. MongolZ, no weakness found so far here on the defensive Nuke. In this round, obviously, 1 AK for Wonderful. It's going to be another rough go of it for NAVI unless mistakes are made. Zinho takes a deep angle versus the trophy hold, and we've already got the Tech-9s out. AK in the middle of this pack. Mzinho plays the cover well and has 9-10 to tether off of. It's a passive angle, waiting for a real NAVI commitment, and within that, it's a second kill from Mzinho. The lower B player comes up to help just in case. That does open up a window of opportunity for the secret players to get downstairs. But what would you trade? Ram control, secret control, or a 5v2? MongolZ will be happy about their positioning at the moment, but we'll see if anything does get clipped in the end. For now, it's just a whole lot of open space.
It's crazy. No one's even close to rotating in. They're just thinking about a retake, but the bomb will get planted. There is nobody decon at the moment. I'm going to say there's absolutely no chance here for NAVI to win, not with no utility and just Tech-9s.
0% odds, right, Launders?
0% I'd give them.
0?
I'd give them 0 on this round.
Tech-9s to press in. Alexi's got a double. Opper now suddenly under pressure. There's 3. Guns picked up. Bomb site is planted in the back of it all, and Alexi on 16 health isn't going to be able to do anything about it.
Not even a small chance.
0% chance that they win that.
Still 0, it looks like to me. Man, that was...
some nasty Tech-9 headshots,
yeah.
huh?
Holy.
Well, it's the most successful round so far for NAVI, 6 rounds into the half. And it still ends up on the MongolZ board.
Because again, like, you know, like 2019, there was like EG, who made it their play style to go for retakes all the time. They got really good at retakes. But no matter how good your retakes are, you're just adding randomness.
Sure.
You know, you can still just lose. Time becomes an issue. Pressure becomes an issue. Moments like that are basically like, it's so easy for the MongolZ. They have an op on one side. They have 2 riflers to defend it, but just a couple of clean Tech-9 headshots, and suddenly everything's in disarray. If that bomb was planted out in the open, which they could have done, that could have been defended by Alexi from the ramp. Both of them, in fact. They wouldn't have had to run back into the site. So it's always been a feather in the cap to be great at retakes. You want to have that in your arsenal, but you never make it like a central part of your plan, you know, throughout an entire half. Use it when you need to. That was an example of 5v2. They wanted to make sure it went as easy as possible, and it still almost went wrong. And that'd be kind of interesting to talk about in a game where it's a little closer, but it's 6-0 for the MongolZ, just another win for them. They have enough money to afford a round like that.
Really deep angle from Blitz inside of Garage and a fresh one for 910's AWP. So NAVI going to be tiptoeing their way into something different here in round 7.
He's not dropping down on this.
So it won't be a surprise to find makazze caught off guard by an AWP he's never seen here. 5v4 for the MongolZ yet again. Bit's going to have to be a critical part of getting into this A site hit by the looks of it again. Once more, wonderful dropping utility over top.
Missed a putt volley, won't matter, I guess.
Back turn from the Garage play. Techno holds on to Hut, and once more, NAVI find absolutely nothing in a gun round. Not a single kill here in round 7 to try and even get close to a bomb plant. Still, 7 rounds of play. Bomb's gone down once, and you give a moment here for the MongolZ where after a round gets a little bit close, you let them make all of this money back with potentially 5 survivors. Wonderful's going to get his back turned, and suddenly you've got MongolZ right back at it. Ton of cash in their back pockets. Everything they need for a 13-0.
It's kind of, whoa, everything they need for a 3. After what we just saw, Connor, there was 0% chance that this is going to be a 13-0.
Everything they need, they've got at the moment. It always feels better when you call them nice and early.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, no, at 6-0 you're just joking around. At 7-0, part of you really believes it. This is,
NAVI will try again, but like you said, we missed some utility on the execute last round. NAVI leaving a lot to be desired, but right now you don't have Blitz bolstering this A site. They're still going to just charge right through. Utility finds its mark. Bomb is dropped back site. Second player gets the trade. Mac-10 will collect one, and Alexi can still reside down beneath this op because 910's going to pick off his support systems. Deal with the players that are trying to get Alexi out of this tough spot. makazze emerges, and he gets slammed against the hut door. There was space on that A take. They get further than previously, but it's still majority alive. It is still no bomb plan. It is still the MongolZ with a flawless CT half.
and it's more great shots from 910 after picking up makazze in the shoulder peak lower last round. Some of the shots that he missed on Inferno, he's totally made up for them now. He's back on form. 10-2 on this game. Navi's map pick.
Trying to play with the smokes deep outer once more. This angle from Blitz, I don't believe they've gotten much from it, but just still gathering information. It's going to bolster 910's confidence to hold. He could have had a 5v4 with that one. Instead, we've got space taken by NAVI and actual boots down secret. So will the rotate be able to hold back?
They all ran.
CobraZera is going to dive into the vents. He hears the rumblings of this takeover of the lower bomb site. Bits Molotov is going to go deep. Control is going to be distracted on one end, which opens a door for CobraZera to come through. Alexi's bomb's been cut off. And so right now he's sitting here hoping somebody can come help him. It's a gun picked up by Alexi. It's a kill picked up by Blitz. Clean up down here on the B site.
Are they even communicating? There was Alexi on that side, Bit running by the door, and it's like Alexi, you would assume he'd be asking for the double swing, to take care of CobraZera so you get the bomb in sight. So everything's falling apart at the seams. I don't know what happened on the break to NAVI or the MongolZ that this is possible after Inferno. This is unreal.
We're just going to take this one round by round, shall we?
9-0.
NAVI looked like they tried to switch to speaking Mongolian this map.
That explains it. It is a hard language. There's no way they've not made a few mistakes.
Feels like it's the kind of day that will leave both Mara and Blade scratching their heads by the end of it once we're back to the prac rooms.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the result that matters, but yeah, tough to make sense of this.
It's gone from impressive for the MongolZ to damn near impossible for NAVI to even think about winning, which is, I don't understand how that could be the case. B-side's going nowhere fast.
Ten almost got caught by Bit from top silo, but dodged the bullet and comes back wide, looking to hold it instead. Woo! Takes another one to the face, but Bit getting wallbang headshots means 9-10 still survives on 6, and makazze crosses secret. And if that op is back behind the blue box, then makazze doesn't have to worry about it downstairs this time. That'll be CobraZera's role, to just slide down vent and go deal with it. He's the only B rotate for the time being. Blitz takes up responsibility outside with a passive angle, letting Garage go if Navi were to take it over. And by the way, makazze is coming back. It's still a possibility that Navi are going to try to end this on A once more. Maybe.
Well, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, okay. Free catch for Blitz.
Goes hunting with perfect timing. Bomb towards the ramp. We get this trophy group up, and 9-10's been waiting this whole entire time. 6 health or not. He'll find 1. We get the swing out from Mzinho and a chance back for Navi to rebound. CobraZera cuts off the other side of this B hit. Navi trying to add layers to this late round move, and a flank in position here for Techno 4K. Once again, feeling like the Mongols can do no wrong. Yeah. Slaughtered inside of the ramp room. That, my friends, is yet another racked up by the Mongols, as the Navi squad, 10 rounds into this half, have only planted once.
10-0, a single plant. Every setup looks phenomenal for the Mongols, but what's even more impressive is every round looks easier than the last. They had some parity early on. That 2v5 with the bomb plant was the closest they got to winning a round, it feels like, ever.
Navi averaging 1.6 kills per round in these 10 rounds of play. makazze is going to fast drop into main. As you get into this point where it's just total desperation, you can start to get a little crazy. And makazze finds himself a cool 3K and an assist over on Ime. So yeah, little to lose at a 10-0 score. You've got to get desperate, and in that desperation, they find a chance to storm through the A site, suddenly making it seem simple. Spamming back through. This one's not over, but the gun's empty. He still gets the 5-7 headshot. And so this one boils down to a 1vx trade. Finally, 11 rounds into this map, Navi find their first.
And it's a good tactic for the split to drop in a mini, and now they got the first one. It's even scary that CobraZera messes up his gun switch to his knife instead of his pistol, and then still gets a kill.
Terrorists win.
So a gift for Navi to avoid the total embarrassment. I mean, there's still time for it. They only get 1 round this half.
I think this is still embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's no 13-0. But it's sure as hell not what we expected after their Inferno domination. If you were just tuning in right now, I'm telling you, Navi looked phenomenal at the start of this series.
They look like they were going to 2-0 this 100%. This is inexplicable.
Sometimes that's what the Mongols are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just kind of inexplicable. A Counter-Strike anomaly. Not the sort that wears a ski mask.
Again, it's impossible to predict.
Wallbang kill here for Ime. That'll help out. Little clearing of main, and
now
Wonderful punishes the ramp push. So 11 and 12 perhaps belong to Navi. CobraZera going for the spam back through to try to deter this follow-up, but because of all of the ramp control, Navi going to take that as an opening. Bomb goes ramp.
Yeah, they know there's one upper, one out sweet grit, and that guy gets killed too.
Takes him a little bit of time, but Navi will get there. Bomb taking a look downstairs. Techno in the meantime's got duels to go for. And lo and behold, he will drop the bomb. Wonderful takes a bullet to the face.
Oh.
And Techno 4K has separated 3 separate duels, wins them all so far by just turning Wonderful back. And as he goes into the smoke, over the box, point blank versus Ema, that is the only way Techno drops, is by losing vision inside smoke, and CobraZera will be out-rotated for the moment.
But do they know? Because obviously he's normally in mini.
But he's always the first guy to drop B.
And they've cleared the upper side, it looks like. Maybe to get the timing.
There we go. Ema going to keep his eyes on the flank as they stomp it over towards the A site, and so 11 and 12, both the way of Navi. But still, no laughing matter if you're Navi. This is the absolute bare minimum still.
Well, they are laughing, so I mean, it's probably better that they are than they're not. If there's any chance that they can put a half together, because this one has just been too hard to... You know, sometimes you're casting a game. You don't even care who wins. You just want to have expectations,
sure.
You know, and you come out of last map and you want to say all these great things about Navi, and then suddenly it's like, no, that's not the story at all. MongolZ are not out of this. They are actually still super confident. They themselves don't know why Inferno went wrong, but they're not thinking about it at all. But again, like we talked about their strengths versus other top teams, and I think it's just that they're unconditionable. No matter what you do to them, you can never make them bend to your will. You can never make them doubt themselves. They're always going to show up for the next round, play just like they did in the last. They're going to try the same thing again, and this is true for this map. CobraZera with a 15-4 T side.
Huge, man.
Or sorry, CT side.
He's really starting to find like an impressive mark on, I think, the space based on just his nuke play. And, oh, I see ya.
Okay, well, just
out of the pistol.
Everything that we try to expect gets subverted.
Beretta's peel back away from the ramp room, which does get taken over by the MongolZ. Smoke drop here by Bit to just buy time. See if this redirects MongolZ. Whoa, yeah, you heard those doors open, so Bit's gonna get jumped on.
That's big.
910 goes hunting with that information, and with it, it is a bomb site primed for the taking. MongolZ have found an opening down into the lower site, thanks to 910.
Yeah, that ruins everything. It's all control side. Vents gets taken back, and so does the man advantage.
It offers a little bit of audio, and it could damn well cost Navi a chance at a CT side. Some missed shots by Blitz, gets punished, and now Techno making up for it, looking to give a bit of cover here as Zinio's got all he needs, and still he chooses to fight. Nice headshot from Wonderful, his second of the round. Backside still occupied, time is of the essence, and it is the MongolZ with a T-side pistol, cracking open the strategy down into that B site, all because Bit opened and closed doors.
Yeah, it comes down to just that one lurk. I mean, Bit was... holding Ven for a second, turned around to watch control side, but also because there was pressure there. So this just opened things up entirely.
Terrorists win.
It's like watching a paint game. Getting stomped on your map pick, stealing your opponent's map pick.
Except neither of these teams are going to go 0-3. Oof. Boom. Roasted. I'll be scrambled downstairs real quick. They've got a few tools for the job, but utility dries up pretty quickly when the economy's against you this hard. Wonderful leans back, and it feels like Navi just kind of waiting for the MongolZ to tiptoe into crosshairs. And they'll do that now with the flash around the outside corner. Wonderful does find his angle. Can't fully stop the main challenge. And Mzinho's Galil gonna tear through one. Recovers the spray as the 5-7 of Emed pops up behind them. And so vent control here with bomb possession, only momentary. Yet again, the Mongols will tear through one, and that is their 12th round secured. 10 map points on NAVI's map pick.
And it's a double forced investment. Already 3 MP9s being bought right here. It's grim. You've got Alexi B on 2600. What do you even say about this? MongolZ, they've got an easier round than the last coming up. Not even a second rifle here. 4 MP9s to defend their map pick. After getting completely pieced up.
2 kills back, at least for the MP9s. Navi refusing to go down without a fight, but instead maybe just dying to the 3v5. We'll see how this one pans out as the FAMAS goes for a peek outside. And Emet looks to get his SMG into the action as well.
It's a bit of a risk here for Ema because if you get spotted outside, then they'll know. You could really lean towards ramp. Oh, he wants to get this. What, smoke or the gun? What's up here? Oh, he's actually going to go off mini as well. Interesting. Blitz is looking through the bins. Suddenly it's 3-on-3.
Wonderful. Alone right now on the ramp. Fine by him. He'll drop the bomb at his feet. Blitz has given up on the treasure hunt. Yeah, that's a bit of a metaphor, huh? It's when you give up on something that it gets delivered to you. All that effort trying to find the gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when he walked away that he got what he wanted.
The car keys?
They were in your hand the whole time. Well, Navi will at least win a round on both halves. Silver linings.
Right. That's the, what, they just got a Steam achievement for that?
Yeah. No, this game only has 1 Steam achievement. What's up with that?
Get less hackers. Steam achievement hackers.
Oh yeah, the notorious group, those achievement hunters.
Yeah.
Can never trust them.
Still looking. What was he looking for? Is there an AK over there?
I don't know. I thought it would be the Galil that fell off, but scratched my head as well. Just really needed that, flashbang.
He's looking for Navi, but they fell off so hard.
Oh. Boom. Roasted. Is it only 1 round? You'd think not with the advantage that Navi hold on to right now. 2 AKs and a Galil given over to them. MongolZ having to do with 3 rifles here in round 60. But it's when it feels more possible that maybe Navi start to shell up slightly. Give this space back over to the MongolZ outside. Deep wall of smokes. Would let the cross occur. Nobody popping it open here for Navi. Makazze stepping forward, finds the insta-kill to Blitz. Beautiful sequence with the double kill.
Yeah, real clean.
Operating on his own there. We get Emes standing on the ladder. He flies out. Can't 180 over to CobraZero, who's now put his paws on an AK. Insta-headshot out of him. And a 2v2 is where we're left. And a drop out of Bit down to the bomb site as the MongolZ want to play options, but their bomb currently sits outside. So this is going to be a weird, slow burn of a round, and they opt to go ramp in the middle of all this.
And they threw a bad nade. CobraZero is also watching this end of the smoke. Oh, okay. Barely misses Alexi. Key for him. Techno's only got this P250. But the wraparound to Mini, that's interesting. I mean, Alexi's timing's going to go off in his head soon.
It's a gun and it's the bomb.
He's playing opposite, so it should be okay.
That's what he's coming for.
Yeah, this is just a perfect cross.
They're still thinking about heaven. No way. Whoa, Alexi, careful. Almost stepped forward into his death. And a break behind you is Bit. So good thing he's there to trade it before the vent drop can truly come through. But I felt like these needs have to be more cost-effective. These rounds need to be. Or else Navi, they're going to be on the brink of defeat every single time. 1 survivor, still an op on Wonderful. It's queued up by Makazze's double.
Yeah, it's really all mental from here on out. I mean, money and everything like that. It only matters so much. Easiest round that NAVI have seen all game. Full on Antico, no investment for the Mongols. It should just be able to farm.
On his own versus Galox.
Oh my gosh.
Yeesh. A1S though.
Farm.
He'll bring him down into the lower site. He'll pop 2 of them in the process. Fast flank around through the ramp, and Emet already onto control. M4 swings into it, catches another kill at least here for the Mongols. And Emet trying to jump down into the bomb site to figure out where the hell Techno got off to. CobraZero's got bomb possession this entire time. He'll find an additional kill, and they just keep on charging. Emet never hit the brakes in this one. And at the very least, we find NAVI with a 5th round so far.
Yeah, it's great that he ran after it. If not, like, maybe it gets crazy. I was going to say, like, Bit is there. In the couple of the last Nuke games that we've seen from Bit, he has had a weird struggle inside of ramp. Like, he's died a little bit too easily. He's let team jump through a smoke, all 5, and not get a single kill. So, I'm not sure if he's not feeling super confident in this position these days, but if I'm the Mongols, I'm thinking about that. They've been watching any of the recent games. Oh, makazze down early.
Ooh, they try to push it into the ramp peak as well, and now Wonderful's in for a world of hurt unless 2 shots connect, but then they are breathing down his neck. The man advantage re-established as NAVI takes it back over with this Emet rotate down into B, and Emet is fighting tooth and nail for these rounds right now, although he loses his head to the Mzinho fight. And so a slow burn 1v1 queued up. He's anticipating the vent rotate, but it's actually Alexi walking around down ramp. Alexi with gun out is going to find this element of surprise, and so a clutch the way of NAVI keeps this comeback rolling.
Yeah, runs right into him. I think it's Wonderful who saves it. Just being the second guy there on ramp, but it is Bit dying instantly. No kill. Well, that's one way to supplant his presence, just have him have some assistance there early. I think comeback of the day has already happened.
I was just thinking the same thought.
But this is technically this is 10 rounds, so.
And after how flat the first half was, I feel like it'd be even more, yeah. NAVI would have preferred to not have to make comebacks, but this one would be a doozy. A gap in the smoke. Certainly not ideal. Obviously, this whole round's not ideal for the Mongols with what they come to the table with. CobraZero 20-10, AK in hand. If anybody could win this round, it's meant to be him. Opening frag goes Navi's way. Ramp will be found for free as Bit was off his position. He doesn't die this time immediately, but he does give over a bunch of space, and then when he finds his duel, it's that one rifle that shines. Single door swung wide. Emet has been very aggressive with his willingness to get into these holds, to just deal with the Mongols, and he'll do it again. Instantly on the angle, finds the kill, goes wide every time. There's a certain confidence here for Emet as he is fighting tooth and nail to make this comeback happen.
Yeah, I like mentioning that, like him keeping pace with this team and showing off that he obviously can frag as hard as they can. Still very impressed by CobraZero, the opening kills. He's getting a gun here, getting a kill. He did such a great job in that first half, but the fact that he can be a two-way player as well. Now, it's not that many rounds so far. NAVI are walking, they keep walking forward.
Mongols making Bit look like a bit of a chump.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not feeling it right now.
7-18 off of another.
And they keep going ramp, which
take.
Again, like that's just the way you do it now. There are no more bully hunters. You're allowed to pick on somebody in a site. That's the new meta.
Kick them while they're down. The Mongols come back full force with guns here in round 20. A 20th round I don't think many of us thought we'd ever get to. Yet NAVI a fight on. 4 smokes. Sea of uncertainty here for NAVI to have to handle. You'd think such a heavy commitment really leads to the Mongols using that to cross over Secret, but they're not going to play it whatsoever. They want to go into this A split, and the main test comes makazze's way. A lot to be desired on that one. This could be the final moments of the Mongols, as Wonderful comes out with the Heaven Peak. No targets to shoot at. Vent is being challenged as Emet pops back up. Blitz is going to best him. His triple kill, no quad. Trades needed, and they shut this one down. You've got NAVI leaving us scratching our heads, but luckily for us, we pay expert analysts to unpack this one.
Well, I don't know what we're going to say. I haven't seen a veto messed up this bad since The Sopranos.
And then the Mongols. Mirage is, I mean, everything's out the window. Like, it's 2 map picks getting taken in a matchup where these teams are not liable to have their map picks get stolen that often. So, I mean, the only new element is the fact that we've got CobraZera in here, who was fantastic again on Nuke. It's got to be his best map at this point between yesterday and today. It's just all kind of a big debut. We don't know how long it's going to take for him to, how far he can go, how much better he can get. And, you know, again, another guy that, when are we going to stop being surprised at the Mongols, bringing in a new talent and making them look like superstars?
Get utility over the top. That's a decoy for the market window.
They're ready for B.
If you think it's meant to get anything out of them, NAVI holds strong. We've got a frag grenade from makazze primed. And then the Berettas go for the rip. Ooh, Techno gets stuck on the windowsill, eats the frag grenade, headshots out for 2. Blitz has got the answer back as he gushes one, but makazze's last bullet kills Mzinho. Oh. And then off the reload, he'll find himself a quad kill here in the pistol.
Great stuff from makazze. That shot on bench is everything, because he's at the big disadvantage, right? His whole body is able to be spotted. He's low on HP. He knows he is a must-hit headshot situation, or he dips back into the smoke and is kind of useless for a while, but he's not looking for that option. He wants to be involved. So great between his HP and these frags. And he was also just so well supported. There was players everywhere. He had a teammate on the balcony, rotators there quickly, third player already ready to fight. It always blows me away how teams can call out which pistol their opponents will pick with these stacks.
I feel like that's one element of Counter-Strike as we've gotten more and more professional over time, is just like the ability to parse information. All these tools, you know, that can just crunch big amounts of VODs instantly.
Yeah.
The answer's got to be out there in the numbers, you know?
For sure, yeah. That's one for math guy.
Yeah, we'll let him have this one. Wonderful trying to pepper away towards top middle, but we do get a little connector challenge momentarily. Not that it nets them much. Mzinho down for the count. Maui Snake alluding to Ime's impact on Mirage like an assassin, he said. Back on the desk, and I do think that is an apt description. Sometimes Ime just in a split-second peek into the windowsill, an instant rotate over to connector. He will be a nuisance for the Mongols' approach if mid is to be weaponized.
His opening game at Cluj was him being just that, an assassin for sure. So we'll find out in this half, I guess, if there's any patterns available for us to think about. It's that the CT starts are not going to stop.
Because when it felt like all hope was lost back on Nuke for NAVI, I feel like Ime was still kind of stepping up into the chaotic game. Yeah, and he's going to have a chance right here, top mid in the first rifle round, to go for it once more. And in that moment, is still at least able to drop a body. When you're facing 3 players in the open like that, props for getting 1. makazze also a singular frag.
It's pretty good, though, to get the pack down.
Go.
Yeah, and they know that there was 3 players up there. They drop a round to nothing, and Mzinho gets caught off guard. And Techno, he's still alive.
Nice
and at this point in the round, yes, he's low, but it is just a 1v2.
Bomb is back in T-spawn. He's on 40 HP.
Yeah, very awkward, man, because if he goes to, he wants to kind of go forward, maybe get that 1v1, but without the bomb. Sometimes you might take this, go back to Palace. They wouldn't expect you to go you know, to have left the ramp in the first place. Let's see what he tries to do. It's like just right back to the ramp.
He's picked up a smoke in the middle of this as well. That could wind up making a difference. We'll see what sort of a duel he gets versus Bit. Bit just kind of floating next to Ticket at the moment. We can see his POV here,
he's
picture in
missiles, and
picture.
he's not really watching this the safest way.
No, not at all. He is considering Palace.
His
He
gun
said
was
maybe he
sticking out.
wouldn't.
No one called that for him. Nobody saw that?
Guess not.
Nice entry, Mihai. It was important you fucking took everything. So impactful.
His barrel was completely out. Ooh, that was a little risky from Bit, and actually,
Little antenna.
yeah.
But it doesn't get called. Na'Vi go up 3-0 off the back of that one, and a lot of trade attempts going down in middle right now for Na'Vi. And I think as much as you want to describe him as the assassin, I will say there's kind of a pack of them at times with the way that Na'Vi just roll around in middle. Makazze always rearing to get a fight going off catwalk. 3 smokes thrown out mid by the Mongols out of spawn, and an instant move over towards the A-ramp. He's jumbled up over towards the ramp. Palace player will be met by a smoke. That's going to neutralize Mzinho's threat for the time being.
Ima's timing's the key one. Like, he's going to try to find this sliver angle versus the ramp when they're all grouped up to peek.
Makes it happen, but gets tech-9'd in the face by CobraZera. Mzinho is able to get out Palace, but not for long. Bit right back at it. Long-range headshot keeps it clean as he goes for the triple kill. And makazze collects the 4th frag versus the Mongols. But an AK picked up at least gives Techno a little more hope that he can pull off a clutch. You're going to find one top stairs blindsided. And Techno to the sidearm.
That's a little awkward.
I mean, bomb isn't in his possession, so it's going to be weird.
Make him sweat a little bit. You know, if you're Techno, he has to reload.
They'll pinpoint his position for the time being. He's going to take to the top rope. Wonderful's right there. Oh! And as Lexi B has inched into that smoke grenade, Techno leans back to the ticket booth. Alexi hoping to catch him with the element of surprise. Techno drops down, gets wind of it for a second, but Alexi still reacts. And that is a 1v1 clutch for Na'Vi's 4th round win.
It's kind of a ridiculous mistake to be over there on stairs and not think that someone could jump up ticket over top of the smoke. It's one of Techno's only options. But after this cleanup for Bit, hope that there was no chance for them to pull this off somehow. And unfortunately for Techno, first bullet through that box isn't enough. Got a fat B rush coming in. Cat jump here and the push to top mid. Oh, it's not super quick. Makazze's very committed here. So for a second, Alexi's going to be alone.
Makazze hears this, barrel to the back of Blitz. That one's done for, and so it's all in out of the apartments for the Mongols. Cleaned up by Alexi instantly, opens the door for Imez multi-kill. Never mind, Alexi's actually got his hands on it instead, and wow, it's flawless here for Na'Vi. Not just this 5th round, but the whole CT side so far.
It was a small thing, but Alexi's fallback flash into B-Apps as they were exiting blinded like 3 people full blind. It really slowed things down. That 1 extra second or 2, that really is everything they needed to get the rotation in place, for makazze get his kill really easily, and Alexi was really great on the utility in the fallback positions. They really didn't even shoot any bullets for those last few kills. They were just kind of looking around.
Made all the easier by making sure Catwalk's not compromised. Full attention towards the apartments.
Counter-terrorists win.
The defense rock solid so far. Not a
So we
bomb
got-
plant either for the Mongols.
3-5-0 starts. Oh no!
No,
What
there was
the first
a-
map was.
We had a
first
force
map.
by win at one
Yeah,
point.
Never mind.
Wrong.
Wrong.
T-Smoke dropped out mid as they'll come into this one with an AK for Techno. Pistols on the rest. Boost here for Techno versus Ema. Yeah, Ema gonna get caught. Nope, got wind of it. For a second, it looked like Ema's timing was gonna cost him his life. Instead, he finds the 5v4. And on top of it, AK dropped, exchanges hands. It'll now be Blitz Burden to be the one rifle. And as he's caught climbing over towards Connector, cobraZera's Deagle finds an opening kill here for the Mongols. But they are still very much jumbled up inside Connector for the time being.
A little awkward. I think they wish they had something towards B to put a bit more pressure on Cat. But right now they got Mzinho on the A ramp. The round gets momentarily scary, but Navi face their fears. They reclaim everything inside of middle. They see that no one's here, in fact. But in the back of their mind, they're thinking B. And it's actually it out here at triple, and he's dead.
Wow, leaves a little to be desired. A lot to be desired, perhaps. No kill on the hold. Up shot lands, but still 9-10 survives, and Blitz takes 2 headshots right then and there. Pistol push, up close, wall bang finish.
Excuse me?
And so, cobraZera setting it up. Blitz waited a little while to get those rifle frags, but he does land 2 critical headshots. It's that cobraZera Deagle kill in mid that puts Navi on the back foot out the gate.
You know, I hate to criticize Bit for just playing a position, but if like he's having some struggles, whether it was ramp back on Nuke or here playing triple and not getting a single kill when he could just be playing ticket. I mean, he could just be playing it a little bit more safe. And, you know, you don't want to have to say that to somebody who is just playing versus pistols and it should be fine and normally would be doing good. But it's kind of like #1 priority, winning the rounds. There should be no sort of chance that this happens. Really struggling at anchoring to be put it plainly.
You say cobraZera gets better as the games go on, as the pressure gets higher. Well, 5-0 down on a map Navi are known for.
You know what? I take it back. You should be playing triple. It's versus pistols. You're not going to get spammed down.
Take it back, eh?
If you're playing triple on a full execute, they molly it, they can spam you with AKs and stuff. But versus pistols should be fun. You just got to get those kills.
Yeah. Simple as, sometimes. There's that assassin-like moment for Emad. Quick look through the smoke and a fast reposition towards Connector instead, but saw nothing. Despite the Mongols certainly being out here, Utility's going to give way of that. They'll drop another wave of smoke grenades, cut makazze off from his support, and he's still floating out here. This is going to be a duel for Mzinho if he opts to jump up that bench.
Yeah, holding for the other side right now.
Mzinho preparing himself for it, but maybe he takes it from Connector instead. Yeah, he sees makazze's barrel. Oh, gets dinked. Makazze up and down. Finds the frag and an opening kill here for Navi. All while the Mongols set themselves up for the A execute. 9-10 clips Bit's wings.
Goes down again.
Ima's responsibility suddenly to hold this back, and he's going to find cobraZera unprepared. He was playing with his utility as Ima starts to cross over. Top stairs push goes wide. Ima gets found out next to the smoke. And luckily, Alexi's even able to get one in the middle of all that. This will turn the bomb back around at 30 seconds, and 9-10's looking to keep Navi preoccupied.
That bomb going all the way over to B. There will be a little bit of delay here from 9-10 as Wonderful's getting really snug. Under balcony with an op. He won't be rotating anytime soon. Actually.
Goes wide.
Whoa. Right into the A ramp and does, wait, this is so weird.
Perfectly
10
timed
seconds,
kill.
He has to go out to B, and Alexi now has to respect that it's probably the A site. Now he's got to be confused.
9-10 still on the ramp.
He has no idea.
Alexi only now realizing that he was right about that rotation, but the kill towards the ramp drew him back. Well timed by 9-10.
He's darting for it.
Alexi just trying to find this 1v1 before the inevitable arrival of the Mongols op. And Alexi reads it right. Blitz, though, surviving the fight. He'll have his knees taken out from beneath him. You know that op's going to go catwalk. And of course, 9-10 into the clutch will land his shot. A second one added to the tally here for the Mongols.
It's kind of perfect the way that, I mean, he's lucky. 9-10's lucky that Wonderful creeps out right into him at that moment because Alexi had already pre-moved to get to the window, would have been able to stop that bomb. But they know that Navi are going to play for information. It's really well done here for the Mongols. they create a messy situation, they win again. I think also it's like Bit died that last round. He died right there in Ticket this time. Straight up opt.
Well, now MongolZ have most certainly found their opening into this game.
And there are some positions like where you're anchoring where there's a bit of a chance you'll get taken out. There's some sites where you may or may not die. Some sites you're gonna die. You know, you might get 2 kills, but you're definitely gonna die holding it. CT is not one of them on Mirage. It's really up to you if you want to fight to the death or not. You can hide so easily. So he chooses the path of the sword. And just like that, MongolZ are back in the game.
Yeah, always fun to see Blitz start taking over a game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yet another prime example of just an in-game leader that's got what it takes.
Yeah, we talk about new best fragging IGLs all the time, but he was just, here carrying for so long, really. Game without an op, some say.
It's back in hand for Navi after that 5-0 start to the game. 9-10 fast and willing to punish if Alexi's not cautious.
Arm here. If he just pushes a little to the left without showing himself, and he'll see this, and then he'll have a chance to really slowly walk into this fight, but he has to move a bit. There it is.
Yeah. Now he sees it.
Oh, okay. Alexi saw it too. That's a big chance.
Alexi B playing dangerous games, doesn't run the risk of checking again. Drops utility in the process. Opper, in that moment, takes the bomb back to T-spawn. The MongolZ looking like they're going to set up for some kind of a later mid moment, but we hit the minute mark, and at the same time, Navi feel like they want to carve control of this part of the map.
Dangerous for Blitz now. They're pushed out of middle.
Smoke pops in front of Bit, but there's multiple bodies outside of this. They take a duel on their terms, and makazze is just straight up bested. All while the MongolZ set themselves up for this full-blown A execute, which currently has no Navi member within the bomb site. Imez gonna get the trade kill back to bottom middle. Bit under challenge here as players down beneath them in a flashbang that just interrupts everything. Both sides of that duel pause. Fire flies forward into Khan, and Alexi popped over top of the Ticket burning. Now wonderful at-bat, missed opportunity, and we go 4 versus 1 on top of it as the MongolZ find a bunch of successful duels, and now 4 successful rounds in a row.
They're turning up with these miraculous trades, actually. So many good fights there for Navi, and yet MongolZ won them all. In fact, that Blitz stays alive, getting pushed. All they did was throw that molly, so he'd have to strafe backwards instead of just hold there and be comfortable. And he had no problem winning that duel over makazze. Made them wish they used a flash. Nice to finally get some parity in this series.
Terrorists win.
I'm sure Navi will be a little bit tilted. They were on pace to have like another 10-2 half. They played their cards right. A lot of close losses now.
Trying to get away with that again, but 9-10 doesn't really take his time. He's laughing it off. He's laughing.
I mean,
it
it's
off.
not that easy. You know, he got the chance he was looking for, but couldn't hit it.
Just hoping Mara wasn't watching.
It's funny though.
It'll be insane if Alexi thinks he can start another round like that.
And that's why jump spotting, you can die, but most of the time it's safe. Even if they see you, it's just not an easy shot to hit.
Ooh, jump out. Little distraction served up for the makazze headshot. And with less, they find a couple kills. But still, again, how many times this mid-fight goes down and the Mongols within it use it as a vacuum to take over the A site? You're trying to bring something back to the table, but every single time you find success, it comes with a cost. Another bomb plant for the Mongols as they go for the 5-5 tie. And 9-10 feeling fired up. Sits and waits, and sure enough, NAVI put themselves into a position to continue to get dropped. It's a good trade by bit at least. Techno's got the insurance of the Palace, and as the bomb hits the halfway point, Ime is going to try to fluster them by putting smoke on bomb. He sits on side of it, sticking it, pitch from both sides. MongolZ back at it again. This A bomb site now has their name stamped across it.
It's pretty sweet. I mean, we are seeing that, you know, Bit's getting kills, so it's not like, and overall, he also had that one round where it was the Antique, he was in CT, got 3 kills. That kind of saved the day for sure. But it's not changing the fact that MongolZ, they're spending all their attention trying to get into this place, and for the most part, it's working out. So tied as we near the end of the half. As we NAVI getting back onto another full buy. Now, if there's someone we really haven't said a lot about in this game, it's probably Wonderful. Considering how consistent he's been lately.
In the face of a bit of 9-10 impact as well, it feels like that op department continues to skew one way as this game goes on. Still a chance to revive the argument as he comes into this one with his op. But 3 kills to Wonderful's name. So far on the decider, we get this boost mantle top mid, and nobody's home as far as 9-10 can see for now. But NAVI have gone for their mid-round, mid-fight moments. So the op lingers just in case. Techno takes up the responsibility of just putting on some pressure through the B-apps, keeping Alexi B busy for the time being. NAVI trying to get off their bomb sites, has Wonderful on a ramp angle at the moment. The attention comes back to middle. CobraZera walking it out, looking to join forces with Blitz when needed. Again, there's that poke, that prod, constant always from Ime to try to confirm what the hell is going on the other side of these smokes. 45 seconds, and CobraZera has just inched his way ever closer to getting into this ladder room.
Yeah, and he can just be a lurk now. He has some, you know, room to play with. He's unspotted. He'll have a chance to get one free peek in. A ramp setup like this is not going to be too bad. It's a bit separated from this, but Wonderful has room to fall back.
Yeah, better than walking into the late lurk of 9-10. A very early angle held by Wonderful. He'll find a second. And then you do still get the answer back for the Mongols. Down to 15 seconds. Wonderful trying to get out of position. Oh, Mzinho tries to play with him. And just when we put Wonderful under the microscope, he delivers, but still will be gunned down by Techno. He'll just look to save the op. No chance to win the round because Alexi doesn't peek. But a hell of a shot out of Techno as well, still showing us that the Mongols are bringing the fight to the table.
For what it's worth. But yes, it's a great round out of Wonderful. I mean, even that small tracking shot on the way back to under balcony, like lots of pressure on. He knows that the connector split's coming and not falling for all those shenanigans on top of the balcony either. Very solid moment for him.
Got to give it credit. Mzinho really did everything he could to try to bait that shot out. Little ladder wiggle.
It's a tough drop down on him, though. Yeah. This exec is going to come in pretty hard. Don't have that Wonderful off this round. Last one was too expensive.
Body's confirmed as well. That would have been the bomb spotted, so we get this scramble rotate over. Ime trying to take over Ticket. Fully blind was bit, but given a chance to regain vision and control the site. Him and Ime combined for 2, but then they both get cleared. It's the Tech 9 and the Flames of CobraZera that get them done for. makazze slipping the net out through the side of smoke. A layering over towards the ticket that could have been makazze to make the difference at the tail end of this one, as NAVI will still add 2 more to the tally. It's a 5-round streak from both teams, but NAVI securing 11th and 12th.
It's got to feel nice to get the final word and actually be able to say that we played well this half. They, had to give up a lead in there, but it was well earned from the MongolZ. But we will say a lot of those rounds were a lot closer. NAVI had a lot of the most dominant victories here.
makazze really showing us his value as this game went on. Kind of continued to rotate into this A site with just kind of a priority to save it. Winds up at the top of the scoreboard for NAVI at the end of the half. And now we'll see
what you were saying, where he's just been running at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what he can do once he's now on the attack. Just felt worrying there for a bit for NAVI. Felt like that dogfight on the A site was just going to keep coming up MongolZ time and time over, but wonderful with the critical op hold once, bit with that regained vision in this last round. makazze is great to close it, but that bit and EMEC combination for 2. It's a frantic hold with fire all around them. We jump into the second pistol of map 3. We've got utility here for NAVI. 2 smokes primed, Molotov of makazze thrown out. They're going to keep this one simple. Utility in, blanket the site, try to flex the advantage, but 9-10 finds the first headshot. MZino's Berettas from down beneath go up top, and it is NAVI finding nothing. Torn apart in their attempt to exit. Finally, a frag comes out for them, but it is that one and only kill, the MongolZ right back to winning ways.
Well, they got to be excited now. They get to start CT. It's kind of like these guys just wanted to get the first 2 maps out of the way to really throw down here on Mirage. But after that long talk from Blade on the halftime, it didn't really amount to much. This CT pistol round for MongolZ was sweet. It's going to nullify the entire advantage. The small 2-round gap that NAVI created for themselves in a game where they probably felt like they were on for a 9-3 or 10-2. Now I'm starting to wonder if NAVI can even win. Feels impossible to place the strength of the MongolZ right now this week. But clearly they go toe-to-toe. Again, this series has been T-side struggle session, so that definitely has me worried for the thought of NAVI, and it's also just me having empathy for the team that started out so well and thought today's our day.
Oh.
Today we 2-0, today we crush.
They felt like $1 million after Inferno. You just know it. It's kind of been a tale of hot and cold for NAVI here in Cluj. Day 1 looked phenomenal. Then we got some worries. They kind of got owned by MOUZ at times. That was a great game played by MOUZ, another team that can show us 2 sides of the same coin. But you are right, that T-side struggle will be the tale of the tape tonight if NAVI aren't able to solve that problem here on Mirage. So guns in hand, time to change the story. And they're going to try to do it off of the back of a triple Palace play. Utility flies over from the ramp. 9-10 mows down the front runner. MZino's the guy that gets the multi-frag. And it is another total shutdown of an attempt out from NAVI. Looking to layer that with connector, but individual moments here for the MongolZ being found across the hold. And makazze with far too much to do in round 15.
This is the A-site defense that NAVI were looking to be able to cultivate back in that first half. They are left gobsmacked here as MongolZ just totally walk over them. And that's going to be one of their best and strongest plays. You see it every time that they play Mirage. This is what they lean on, not even when things get tough, just to show how good they are at the map. Sometimes just saving their force buys, or their anti-force buys for B hits and everything else towards ramp and mid. One of those half buys. With Bit lurking inside a palace, he's got a molly and a smoke. But now they get spotted. I wonder what they're going to do with that. Now you're just going to get spammed. Nades are going to come out. This becomes a nice part of having an Extremity Lurker. Even if he was going to become, you know, part of a double fake, he's now a way to run back to the other side of the map. Know you have Palace cleared. Get you to speed up a little bit. Do you really want to test their mettle on A again? Because they passed with flying colors last round.
Four on the exit. Mzinho kind of pressured here, but again, every time he's just jumping up and recovering the chance to mow down bodies. NAVI, just like the gun rounds, these ones with pistols find absolutely nothing, and the MongolZ defense is rock solid yet again.
What can you say about these guys? They just impress no matter what. Standing up to the two first tests in a big way, but another rifle.
Feels like if there is ever a chance for NAVI to break through on the T side, it's got to come from these rifle rounds. MongolZ aren't making any mistakes in the face of the lesser weapons. We just kind of sit here holding our breath, waiting for NAVI to give us something to talk about. It eventually happened back on the CT side as well, right? Round 11, round 12, they kind of got back into that groove, but so far, no rounds on the attack. MongolZ about to post their second 5-round streak on map 3. If they can shut down the AKs of NAVI here in the 17th round. It's not even like MongolZ are playing extremely brave and kind of just messing with Navi's strategies. They're allowing NAVI to do whatever the hell they want. It's just once you try to step forward, you get shut down.
They're not pushing everything. They're not pushing into B apps, really. They took one pretty shallow peek. They've got a very standard lay of the map at the moment. They're leaning maybe slightly a bit more towards A with a dedicated player, a ticket guy, and one in connector, but nothing fancy.
Another well-timed rotate here for Blitz the moment they start to test this ramp. This time, though, NAVI get that man advantage. This is what we've been waiting for. An individual moment for NAVI as they crack it open. Blitz, though, from the corners got the answer back. And CobraZera slammed by Wonderful, who just shoots down through the edge of that smoke.
Quickly into the 2v2, but Imma in mid. How does this affect things? 20 seconds, so they can't be taking this bomb anywhere else.
And they don't waste a moment, right? Techno keeps this pressure on, walking all the while. Imma's got to get this going back into the bomb site. He announces himself, and you don't know about Techno. You still don't even know. It's a moment here for Blitz to get the 2K. It's a double op pull through here for 9-10. Mzinho finally stuffed by the makazze entry. You think maybe now's your chance to get a little more, but NAVI come up with nothing.
Man, the amount of moments in that first half where we saw either Bit come up huge or just die untraded, you know, versus this, where nobody in this setup is going untraded. Even when makazze gets this first kill, they've got Blitz here inside of Sandwich, who, as you pointed out, had that early rotation towards A. Nothing fancy, no huge risks, but just little leans here and there that meet NAVI on their timings. That's all that MongolZ need to be successful.
And no incorrect timings either so far for the MongolZ.
Yeah, there's a find.
You're not adding a third player to the wrong bomb site. You're not falling victim to any mind games out of NAVI. You're allowing NAVI to make moves on their terms, and you're just shutting it down regardless.
Like That little back-to-back grenade to keep the smoke blown open. But no one's here spotted. Blitz actually knocked down to 2 health. How did they do that? From inside the windowsill, must have dipped back out. Here's Emma.
Losing teammates behind him, but at least Emek could try to be the hero.
They just keep poking in from every side. But there's a gap left from Cobra. He was just watching this cross. I mean, Blitz surely does die here with the amount of HP he has left over, but Emma, he's not willing to get outside of this.
CobraZera in the open, able to hold that angle, deal with the one rifle that Navi were hoping to bank on.
And this is the moment you play a spot like Jail. It's just easy.
And all of a sudden, you've got CobraZera added back to this B defense, catching them on the fall down, almost team flashing Techno to his own death.
I think he flashed them both.
They can laugh about it. All's good here for the MongolZ. This is 6 consecutive CT rounds with not even a Navi bomb plant.
Yeah. No, this is I never thought, didn't think this was going to happen. Not after the 5-0 start, not after the map one that we saw, but here we are. MongolZ with a massive lead. It doesn't even feel like they can't even lose this game at this point. Navi on their 3rd timeout. They haven't been able to get this op to wonderful in the second half. They don't necessarily need it, but they do need something different. And we've got a sell back on the AKs right now. I'm not sure what they're going to do differently, but they don't have an option to buy an op, really. Like, just figuring out the grenades. One of each.
This game is going to end up as a discussion of how the T-sides have spoiled Navi's hopes of progressing to the playoffs.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be a problem for the MongolZ, too. They broke through in their own first half. And they did it late, you know? This is about when the MongolZ started winning T rounds in that first half. Yeah. So Navi have to look to that as inspiration at this point.
Both CT sides start with at least 5-0 starts with no bomb plants. You're right, there is a parallel to be drawn. Can Navi do it too? Imez found timing, so he thought, but then you get this catwalk peek. And again, it's Navi taking fights on their terms, but every time they find themselves in a crosshair, they die damn near instantaneous. A little bit of stairs damage you'd think would be enough to best CobraZera, but once again, he stands the test. A slaughter inside of A site. Not one player falters, still no bomb plants. The MongolZ can do no wrong.
They actually can't. I mean, I don't even know who the best player is right now. I feel like Mzinho's kind of sneakily been stealing the show with some of the clips that he's putting together, but 910's not missing. There's an op difference. I think the setup, so for Blitz, his rotations have been the difference. Everything's pretty much perfect. In overtime guaranteed.
Find ourselves with a series where CobraZera will be referenced once more, showing a bit of resilience and the ability to come back after a tragedy of a first map. Critical playing main back on Nuke in back-to-back days. That map specifically looking like a great place for him, but now even within this game of Mirage, where everybody on the MongolZ is bringing something to the table, no hard carry needed in terms of shutting down Navi's attack.
Yeah, I mean, even Techno. He's got rounds we remember. It's a full court mid-press. A safe angle here for Techno. Shot miss slightly, but Blitz is here to catch a bait if they wanted to try to push into this. Alexi should be able to see his feet soon, though.
Eats the flash.
Oh, and he got spotted, but he didn't peek too wide.
Alexi still just holding it, able to get the trade back. CobraZera from the ladder room with another instant kill. Trades still go back and forth. There's a little bit of damage on Techno to have to handle.
I don't think makazze is going to be ready for him up here. With that cat play, you think Techno will be more back into the site.
It's a position that could catch him off. Techno goes slightly further. Get that utility thrown forward, and Techno opts to just remain in the corner. Makazze is going to be able to figure this out, but he takes a ton of damage in the process of clearing, and it's a long-range run here for the MongolZ. 910 looking to join up on the cat retake. Makes the jump happen. Wonderful. Already on the angle. Op versus AK up close.
Spotted.
910 wins the duel. You've got the low health makazze caused by Techno, and MZinho freed up to start to make the retake. The Galil wins the fight, and Navi will find their first. When it is the playoff qualification on the line, the Mongols finally falter.
That's very nice from makazze to figure out Techno as he was minimizing his presence the entire time. He started there at the beginning of the round, didn't move at all, no nades thrown whatsoever, but it was just a little bit too quiet inside of B, and two teammates coming up, cat clearing things, and he got a little suspicious. So it's a first round. But because Navi, you know, they got that 7 rounds in the first half, they're not far away from actually bringing this into overtime. It doesn't feel like they can. But, I mean, Navi have made harder comebacks than this. It's just that, you know, with the way that MongolZ are playing, any one moment where you slip up slightly and MongolZ are going to get a multi-kill. And you're going to have your advantage taken. And we've seen, even in this round where they lost, that MongolZ are always playing to trade. It's been the scariest feature of the CT side. No attempt at a duel goes unpunished.
Even the nature of that last round doesn't feel like the one that's going to take MongolZ confidence away.
Could be a little bit scary for Navi if 910 gets deep on this angle early and they start this lean again towards A where the bomb's going, where this attack is going.
Zinho allowed to just push this one a little bit closer. Blitz is also quick to the scene if needed. Dodging the fire for the moment. Back turn to Techno. He'll pick it up, but it is damage at least. Oh, but the headshots right there over top of the bricks. Techno's finding pressure all around as Bit comes through with the headshot. That's going to clear out the A site. Incredibly close duels. Look at the health left there for Bit and Wonderful. You know that MongolZ were on the brink of victory, but it'll be consecutive rounds to Navi's T side.
We were watching it from the hero POV. Techno underneath balcony, not dying, standing right beside a Molotov, getting his 2K in. But with his teammates going down without a frag, none of that really mattered.
So close to finding more frags over top of the bricks just there. Techno scrambling to get away with it. Empty rifle just running for the hills. And so good on Navi to deal with the support systems before pushing Techno over the edge. Still, the MongolZ economy can sustain a couple of losses. That 7-round streak bodes well for their odds of still closing out map 3. Blitz, could he be spotted? Nate doesn't go deep enough. And so Alexi from top middle is going to drop his utility to try to soften that up. Well landed. Blitz is done for. Alexi's got a second. A chance at a third one as the MongolZ go heavy in the mid play. But it is a 4v3 secured until Techno steps forward off of the platform. And that one is going to find Navi's game plan. Walking out a ramp while that mid fight fades away.
But makazze goes into these more defensive protocols and they reset a little bit. They're holding on to mid for the time being. But a lot of this comes down to if 910 goes middle or not.
And it looks like he's about to. He's going to try to go clear this top mid play.
Being watched.
He's got it.
And he got it.
Figures it out. Takes a bunch of damage in the process. MZinho's going to go for this ticket rotate in the meantime. But while Navi try to play it quietly, this does open that door for MZinho to maybe split in between the two remaining Navi players. 910 just waiting for a shot. Bomb thrown over towards default. MZinho, does he peek off the plant? Fake attempt, he gets the headshot. And now 910's AWP is going to have to work this one over. It's him versus Wonderful. Battle of the Oppers. And in this window of opportunity, Wonderful commits to the plant. Scrambling, looking for pieces. And uncertain as to the route that 910 takes, who's slowly crawling this one up from ticket, clearing all the way. As Wonderful gets back over to the Tetris, he'll find it though. Catching him on the climb up, giving Navi 2 more rounds to push OT.
Yeah, now we're talking Navi. This round is just as hard as any of the other ones, but there are shades of this MongolZ come back inside of the first half. Tough rounds, but consecutive here for Navi. They're showing some fangs now. It's Alexi's 2K trade inside of middle, or denial of trade, I should say, that really kept this thing swimming. Round 23, everybody has what they want. Wonderful's got that op, so does 910. I don't think anyone's smiling now.
NAVI hanging on for dear life at one point, but now are undeniably doing it.
Terrorists win.
Smooth reposition from Wonderful, considering the options of that cross. You know, he felt the squeeze when he was looking for any util, anything he could on default, because he was worried that jungle, stairs, something like that could have been held by 9-10. But he figures out the key. Walks away with a third consecutive.
This is where the pressure really goes on to Alex. He's got to make the right call. Oh, and it's perfect to catch 9-10 off.
Makazze just sitting wide in the apartments.
Yeah, we've seen almost every single round up until this point. They haven't really tested B apps. 9-10's been able to sit there, go deep. Saw Techno sit there for an entire round. Nobody had pushed up at all. So a very nice change of pace here for NAVI. A quick, unanswered 5v4. This might be an interesting move, but Alexi's going to be watching for us. Everybody in back.
Whoa, Techno dealt with. Blitz's nade will finish off Emet, and Wonderful kills CobraZera in the middle of that engagement out middle. So now what's left of the MongolZ is incredibly split up. Palace player looking to take a look towards sight, and Mzinho repositioning it a sandwich has been found. So everybody's here to deal with this. NAVI go 4 rounds in a row. When push comes to shove, they step it up a notch. And this game has been so difficult to just get a read of. The streakiness across maps, the blowout on map 1 that made you feel like this was NAVI's day. And so they fight this back. Maro wants to just get this one over with, but overtime looms.
Overtime looms, except even despite this comeback and all the buys we've seen take place, we've got the double op. CobraZera is going to be doing his real Senzu impression now.
All right.
Picking up an op here on round 24 for the first time.
MongolZ CT side started with utter dominance. It is what has afforded them this continuous buy ever since NAVI have been able to string these 4 rounds together. Buy after buy, now double op for the final hurdle.
They could have split that up into other guns.
Of course.
Blitz and Techno are here on an MP9, a FAMAS. There's not full grenades for everybody.
The irony of that Senzu double op is that he has like one of the lowest round win conversions off of it when he buys it.
What's crazy is there's no way NAVI knows it's double op setup.
No way at
but
all.
Going B would be the perfect counterplay to the situation.
CobraZera's op up catwalk. Blitz right now alone towards the apartments.
Puts pressure on the one FAMAS there.
Yep.
Or sorry, excuse me, Techno's MP9. Cobra, he's got to go for some kind of pick, to be honest.
Tries to take a look towards mid, but as he remains preoccupied with middle, here comes the hit.
Hasn't found it.
Techno bails out of the apartments, ready for the jump down onto him. Op is now on the line, and it hits its first shot. Cobra not going to waste the chance, but it's back. Oh, 180! Whips it over to the cat. Oh, triple for Cobra! And we wondered whether he would be able to put it up. Well, he does. He tries to shut them up. Round 24 for the MongolZ. Huge comeback after the blowout to kick off this series. From dead last in Krakow to top 8 in Cluj.
Appropriately, we end with a Cobra strike. But before we break down the game, I want to say what was more interesting.